Obviously, a very disappointing result. We let a huge opportunity slip through our fingers tonight. I don't think we played particularly well in the first half, but Chaco scores a very good goal on a free kick. From there, the one thing that was good was we didn't give up a shot on goal in the first half, even though they kind of carried the play and had the better of the ball. Second half started, and we had some okay moments, but couldn't had a chance or two to get a second goal. Didn't serious. Had a chance to get the second goal, didn't get it, and now they're a good team, and given time and on the ball, they started to pass well and broke us down for two goals. We got beat on the one out wide, 1v1, and then on the second one is actually a missed kick by their goalkeeper off a punt that we let bounce. And then from there, it's a scramble, mistake, and then we get Bunbury beats us to the back post. So poor result again at home. Not the way we wanted things to go, obviously. We have to pick ourselves up and look forward to Columbus.
When you're making substitutions in the second half, why Brian Carroll over Ethan White?
Well, Ethan White's a center back, so they play different positions. Brian Carroll is a holding midfielder that we brought in with the thought of knowing Chaco going into the game was only going to be able to give us around 60 minutes. He entered the game and gave us 30 last game. To make the jump to 90 would have been difficult. Same with CJ. I talked to CJ at halftime. He said he'd give me 20 minutes more, and it went to I maybe pulled him about 3 minutes prior. So those two came out with the idea of Andrew giving us 30 minutes on legs that I knew were tired with Andrew, but I thought he could give us a good 30 minutes and push things. Brian Carroll has nothing to do with the goal. Ray gets beat one-on-one in a spot where he never gets beat one-on-one, and today he did. So to put that on him is ridiculous. And if you want to put it on me, that's fine. But at the same time, I knew going into the game I was subbing those two guys around the 60-minute mark with the thought of 3 games in 9 days. Didn't work out. Obviously, they scored right after the subs were made, so that's what everyone's going to point to. But it was a one-on-one play that Ray, listen, I think he's one of the best 1v1 defenders in the league. And as a defender, so sometimes you get beat, and we learn from it and have to move on.
What happened on that play when the two had that nice free kick and CJ couldn't quite handle it?
On the one that he headed, yeah, he timed it well. He was up in the air high. I think he just didn't get his headed back across the face of goal. He kind of just missed it. They pulled 2 off the line at the end too. There was a couple scrambles, but again, it wasn't our best day. It wasn't a great performance from us, and so.
Talk about how you rate Zach Pfeffer after this game. Looked like Michael Ahoud was really getting overrun by a lot of bodies, and Zach was in and out of it probably more than you would have wanted.
Yeah, it was a newer spot for Zach, to play a little more defensive. But at the same time, it was a game I thought we'd have more of the ball than we did, to be honest. We weren't on it, and when we were on it, we were sloppy with it. So I think we put an attacking lineup on the field with Pfeffer and Chaco, but we still didn't manage to be clean with our passes and be sharper on the ball. Zach had an up and down game. He had some really good moments, and then he had some moments where he lost some sloppy balls. Michael has been putting out a lot of fires for us, and again, it was just a matter of us not doing a good job of, I thought when Jermaine came with the ball, he was able to he's a great passer, obviously, and he was able to kind of pick us apart and play balls through our lines. And that gave us a problem, especially in the first half. Second half, we did a little better job, but still, again, it was a situation where I thought we'd have more of the ball than we did. So Zach had to defend a little bit more. Made some good plays defensively, and then also Wynn and Rowe were able to kind of get in behind him in between our midfield and our defenders. So learning experience for him, and I still think he had some good moments.
Jim, it seemed like there were some instances out there where there were some communication issues after plays, during plays. Is that something that's a concern? Is that something you saw from them at all? Or?
No, I mean they're trying to talk through when I think it was mainly when Jermaine did advance the ball. Again, he's usually a midfielder, so he's comfortable on the ball. When he would come forward with it, we didn't do a good enough job of running at him and making him give it up and make maybe somebody else beat us with a pass. So to his credit, whether it was the 60-yard diagonals that he hit or the good 30-yard balls on the ground that kind of played in between our lines, he was very good on the day. And defensively, he was also great in the air and did a good job for them.
Jim, when does possession become an issue? I think this is probably the 5th time in 8 games you guys have been beaten in possession.
Yeah.
I know it's a fine line between winning possession and
For sure.
purposeful, but when is that an issue for you guys? Is that something?
Yeah, we have to pass better. We haven't passed well in a lot of our games. Sloppy turnovers, just having the confidence to try to play out at tight spots. Whether it means swinging the ball around our back line a little bit more confidently just to make the other team do a little running that we seem to always have to do and chasing. It's finding a balance there. The score does dictate sometimes. When you're up 1-0, the team's going to come at you a little bit. But again, we have to find a way to play the game more on our terms, and that does involve being better with the ball and keeping better possession.
Do you have an extra challenge this week of keeping the guys' confidence up?
Of course, we only have one win. Again, the table. If we win today, we're in 3rd place. It's a fine line. We lose, and now New England jumps up. So, again, we missed a huge opportunity tonight. Luckily, again, the Eastern Conference is tight. You have to get on a run, and that's something that we haven't been able to do this year, to put really good performances together and get 3 points. Because at home you can't afford to drop all 3 points at home.
Jim, is there any thought of playing out of the back instead of using the goalkeeper to boot it down the field? You've got Maurice and Steven who are good on the ball.
Could talk about it, but we're actually it doesn't really suit us to play like Columbus does that, for example. It's a combination of guys wanting to be on the ball more, getting comfortable on it. So yeah, I mean, I don't think that suits our current personnel.
You had Fernando Aristigueta doing a great job up front, but it looked like Letou is either pulling rank or somehow bumping him out. He's not staying on one wing, regardless of which wing. And then you see Fernando running up and down the sideline. Is that by design, or is that Letou pulling rank and wanting to be in the middle of the pitch?
No, I think there's still a little bit of learning each other's strengths and tendencies for different reasons. Fernando hasn't been able to train a lot with us, whether it be the broken hand, sometimes with the quad has been an issue. So, I talked with him about that the other day, that, finding the balance with his teammates, when to run with the ball, when to pass. His teammates can do a better job of staying wide and being an option wide and not crowding him, like you mentioned. He does a good job holding the ball up, but sometimes there's no one there for him to lay it off to, and he gets isolated a little bit. So it's still a process, and we have to get better.
Why Vincent Nogueira was not in the group today?
Yeah, he hurt his ankle against New York City FC, so he has an ankle injury that kept him out of the game today.
Anything else for Jim? Thanks.
Thanks.